What's up, everyone? This is part 2 of how to build a blog with Gatsby and Tailwind. In the last video, we did a bunch of config, some setup, brought in Tailwind, added some prettier configuration, a little bit to the Gatsby config, and in this video, I want to finish up stuff configuration and create our blog posts and be able to query them from the index page. So first things first, let's go into our Gatsby config, and we need to add another Gatsby source file system setting. So we're going to grab this, copy it, and paste it down. We're going to name this blog, and from the dir name here, which is the root directory, the directory where this file is located, from the dir name, we want to go into content blog. Save that. Let's create that now. In the root here, we want a new directory. We're going to call it content. And inside of here, we're going to create two directories, assets and blog. For transparency and all truthfulness, the assets folder is where you can keep things like fonts and assets and images and everything, but we're not going to be doing it that way. We're going to be keeping them directly in the file with our actual Markdown file itself, in the directory with the Markdown file itself. So we've got content, we've got blog. Gatsby source file system is now going to pick up and read on everything that's in that blog directory. So we're going to create those, but really quick, what we need before we do that is we need to bring in the Gatsby transformer remark and able to allow Gatsby to pick up on it on the build time and add the nodes for it in the GraphQL tree. So let's say npm I Gatsby transformer remark. And we're going to add that to our config file as well. Okay, so that's done. So let's go back into our Gatsby config. We're going to go here just to follow what everything else in the file is doing. We'll use backticks. And let's say Gatsby transformer remark. And for the sake of what I saw in the documentation, and I don't think it means anything, but the transformer remark was after Gatsby source file system call, so I don't know if these go in any particular order. So let's just put it there to be safe. Save that. We'll close our Gatsby config. We're going to create the rest of our blog content now, so our blog posts. So we can get that out of the way and we have data to work with. So let's create 3 folders. First one is first blog post. Second folder is second blog post. And the third one, can you guess what it's going to be? Third blog post. Alright, each one of these is going to get an index.md file. So new file, index.md. Each one, do it for each one, I know you could copy and you could paste it, but let's just type it, right? Get your typing skills up. So in these files, what we're going to do is create our Markdown, which is going to be our blog content. Now in Gatsby supports front matter. So for the front matter, you're going to put the 3 dashes, and in between the 3 dashes where you can do things that are more meta, like title, date, descriptions. So for the title, let's put first blog post. For the date, today is 6/26. So let's do 6/24/2020. We'll do 2 days ago on that one. Let's also put a description in, and this is going to be some lorem ipsum. For this first one, I'll show you my lorem secret. I do have some lorem off to the side of the screen. Everybody, I'm sure, has their own, but I will go into this index.js file, or any JS file really, to be honest with you, and I'm going to type lorem 20 tab. And I'm going to cut this out. Save that so it's normal. Any file, I mean, it could be HTML file, a JS file, it just can't be an MD file, it won't work in here. And I'm just going to paste it in there. Okay. Let's add some more lorem just to be sort of like a content block, which we will put inside of a paragraph tag. And we will put that content in there just like that. And then we will also do a second block just so that we have some content to play with. So here's a second block of content. Not really. This is what the thing with this content. These lines here, you see how they have these little. I'm sorry, mine is like text wrapping. It's being strange, but these carrots, these right, we'll call them greater than signs. On the left here, we're going to turn this into a block quote, just so you know. That's what's going to happen there. Let's also just add one more huge block of text, which we will also put inside of a paragraph tag. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to copy it, and we're going to put it in each file. Second blog post, just going to change this to second. I'm going to change this to 25. All the content can stay the same because it's all lorem. Third one, say third blog post. I'll make it for the day of recording. Save all three of them. And now we need to get some images for these because we want to be able to add images to our blog post. So I just want to put them in there ahead of time so that way we don't have to go looking for them later. So I grabbed a couple images from Unsplash. Let me bring it over here. I already have them downloaded. All I did was went to unsplash.com, searched for tech in the bar, and downloaded 3 images. So I have them over here on the side of the screen. I'm just going to pull them in no special order. Pop that in there. Pop that one in the second one. This in the third one. These names are far too long, so let's say MacBook on desk. For here, we'll say MacBook party. Here, we'll say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Close that. We will change this one to glowy MacBook. Okay, now, because of the way we set up our Gatsby source file system, anything inside of this blog directory will be picked up by the file system. So what we can do in here is we can say, we can add images, which the syntax is exclamation, brackets, parentheses. In the parentheses, you want to grab the file. You can put your image source. So we just want to say /. This is the first one. MacBook on desk.jpg. Yes, they're all JPEGs. Okay. Open that up a little bit more. And this is our alt text. We're going to say a MacBook on a white desk. Not very good alt text, but better than nothing. Let's add one more image here. Actually, no, we'll just stick with the one image for now. And what we'll do is we'll take it just so it looks a little bit cleaner. We'll put it down here. So then it's a paragraph, a block quote, an image, and then some more text. Just for now. And we want to do this for each one. So actually what I'll do, I'll be lazy. I'm going to copy the whole thing, go into number 2, paste it, change this to second, 25th, and then this will be MacBook party, and oh my gosh, it's a MacBook party. Alright, that won't it scream at you if you do that? Okay, so just a bunch of MacBooks on a desk during a meeting is what it looks like to me. Save that one, go to the third one, replace everything. Let's say third blog post as of today. This was Chloe MacBook and a MacBook on a desk with cool colored lights. Multiple. There you go. Okay, all our blog posts, all our images. This is all done. If you want to just grab this blog post stuff, there's a link in the description to the repo where all of this will be there, and you can just copy and you can paste it and you'll be good. You will have to get the images, grab your own images, and change the names for those images. Just so remember to do that. Okay, cool VS Code thing. Click on, well, you can hold Control, K, W, and it'll close all open editors. Next thing I want to do is a quick one. Let's go into the Pages directory and let's go to page 2, right click and delete. Using TypeScript, right click, delete. From here, let us just run, let's go to our index page just so we can see it, and let's start up the server and see if we have any errors. Gatsby, develop. Okay, so that's done building. For some reason it took a little bit there, so I just gonna cut the clip, apologies. But if we refresh the page and we look, and I'll refresh it again for the sake of it, everything is showing, all our Tailwind styles are showing, and if we go to our GraphQL, we see that we have the Markdown remark, nodes, edges, node, and front matter, title, hit play, and you can see that Gatsby has created nodes for each one of our blog posts inside of the content blog directory by the name of each one of these files. These are the names that it's going to use to create it. When we do our slugs and when you go in here, I'm querying a title, which is the title of this right here in your front matter. So I've come down edges, node, front matter, title. And sorry, I skipped the whole step of to get here. If you're new to Gatsby, you would go to localhost 8000/1 __ GraphQL. And I believe you can do it with 2 underscores. I just do 3 because that's what I'm used to. And it actually will save whatever your last query was in here. So I can run the query again. I see the title. I got the date and the description. And I have everything for each post. So all the nodes are made of those. Let's go ahead and query for those and make sure that we can see them when we are on a page. So we're going to go into our index.js inside of our pages directory. We'll clean all of this out. We'll do this and say home page. Save it. Go back. Just make sure that it is working properly. Home page. There it is. We will be styling all of this. Don't have a panic. I promise. We'll get to it. So what we want to do on this page is we're going to make a page query to get the front matter and be able to display it on the page itself. So it's easier if I just show you what I mean as opposed to just talk about it. So first thing we do is we're not going to use this link. Instead, what we'll bring in is GraphQL. And to make the query, we want to go outside of the component. And we're going to create a variable, and it's going to export it, named export. So export constant. I call it page query. You can call it whatever you'd like to. And then we want to call GraphQL, which is a method, and it's going to take 2 backticks. So here we can make our GraphQL query. We're going to say query. And if you're familiar at all with GraphQL, which isn't a complete GraphQL tutorial at all, this is just what we can use with Gatsby. You'll be able to find more of that. I'll try to see if I can find a link or something to a good tutorial, but the Gatsby docs are basically, will show you how to do all of this basic stuff. So we're going to name this and call it blog posts query. And it's going to be, and what's cool about this actually is you can go back to your graphical interface, and this query that we made right here, I can grab it from right here. I can copy pasta, replace this, rename it to blog posts query, save, and this query will work. The way that we actually get the data to be able to see it is it comes in as a prop in the component, so we can just say data, we'll destructure it, and let's go ahead and just console log data. I name my console log so I don't get confused. Oh, sorry, hold on. Take this. Say there's an error here. You'd be like, wait, why is there an error here? Because when you're using functional components, if you're not doing anything in there, you're just returning some JSX, you can just wrap it like this in parentheses. But we want to do something in there, so we're going to wrap it. We're going to put our curly braces, which for anybody new to VS Code, if you highlight something and then you use your curly braces, it'll wrap it in the curly braces. I'll say return. Put this here, and if I save, Prettier will clean it up. Now let's console.log. It's going to be that, and let's see data on the index page. Let's go back to our index page. It's already refreshed because Gatsby's freaking fast. And we see all markdown remark, edges, each one of our edge, singular, in the array, then our node, and our front matter, with data for each one. So let's just really quick display this. We won't style it up just yet. Actually, you know what? It's getting a little long, so what we'll do is we'll just display it in the next video. We'll style it. So let's create a list. And what's cool that we're using Tailwind is all those default things are going like list style and whatnot. So let's create a list, and then let's say posts. Oh, right. Thinking before I'm actually doing something. So what you can also do here is you can create a shortcut to this if you don't want to remember all markdown remark or whatever the long name of it's going to be. So we're going to call it posts. And then here I can go ahead and do data. I'm going to open up some JSX, data.posts, edges, map, every edge we want to return a list item, and inside of this list item for now, let's just say we want an H2 where we see edge.node.title. And actually, what would probably be good is if I showed you what each one of these edges contains. So let's cut this out really quick. Wrap it in curly braces. Sorry. Apologies. Wrap it in curly braces. Return. And then say console.log what the edge is, so we know what's in there. Go to data, and then you can see what's in each edge. Let's go back. You need key props, so that's just complaining that we need to put a key in that list item. But this is each edge for each blog post. So think of an edge as each blog post. The edges are all blog posts. So for every edge, there's a node, and then in the node, we have front matter. So technically every node is the blog post, but if we think about it in the array, it's every edge, edges, edge, and then your node, and your node has your data for whatever it is that you're querying. So what we can do actually is, because we're going to keep saying edge.node.something, we can go here and we can just destructure the node right off of the edge so we don't have this extra dot. And then we can also destructure whatever it is that we want off of each node. So description and date equals node. And equals node dot front matter. And what this matches is everything that's down here, so it's really easy. So posts dot edges dot map for each node, because edges has, you don't see it here, but it'll be edges, and for every edge there's a node, so node, and then front matter, and then we're destructuring title, description, and date from there. So then I can just go here and say title, and we'll do a H3 with the date and a paragraph tag with the description. Save it, go back to our page, and let's get rid of this that says home page because it's confusing, and for each one, so it stops complaining, let's also say for the key for now we will just put the title. Go back to our page, let's refresh to clean this up down here. And okay, I apologize, we will do just so you can see it easier, we'll add a class. We'll say class name equals, let's do mt-4, which is margin top 4 for Tailwind. And then just so you can differentiate things here, we're going to say class name on the title equals text dash 2XL font dash semi bold. Okay. And this is just so you can see the difference between everything that's going on. And for every one of these, actually, instead of MT4, do MY, MB, M margin bottom 4, because it'll start from the top of the list and push everything down. So then there'll be room between this and the last one as well. So, all right, we can see all three of them. Success. We will, in the next video, we'll clean everything up. We will move these into some separate components. We will style a couple things, and we will get it rolling. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.